Can you put your hands together unto Jesus?
Reverend Kwame Amo,
May God bless Reverend Kwame Amo and Lady Reverend Judith. When the time is up.
When the time is up. Now,
if you want to make some notes today, you want to write down some notes. The theme for today's message,
when the time is up.
When the time is up. I want to have a conversation with you today. And I want to enlighten the eyes of your understanding regarding spiritual things.
Last week message,
I'm not going to continue with the message I preached last week,
because a book
because what I preached to you last week are contents of a book I'm about to author or publish. And you can put your hands together for Jesus. And so, from time to time, I would give you snippets of what the book contains.
Another time.
And so I will proceed, but certainly going to be another time. So today we are moving entirely to a different subject, a different topic.
When the time is up.
Se ebreno eswa. I believe that for everything there is a time. And our God works with time. God is the controller of time and not the reverse. He is not controlled by time. And so everything that our God ever created, God has for that creature or creation a time. Now today I'm having a conversation with you. Now all of us in this auditorium, our timing are not the same. The time of our elevation, the time for individual blessing, they are not the same. Now, the same way we were not born in one day, and the same way we will all not die on one day, and the same way the time you were born differs from the time someone else was born, we all do not have the same face. And so, in like manner, you must realize that that is what God has ordained, or how God has appointed things to be in creation. It is for this reason you must not compare yourself with another person. And so you must not be envious of someone else, because we are not the same. Some were made to be greater than others. Everyone belongs to a certain rank before God, and it was a decision made by God. And so you must know, you must know that today may be someone's time, but tomorrow may be your time.
sɛ ɛbrɛ da hɔ no ma nipa biara de a
Now, if there is a time appointed for every man,
ɛne ɛna abrabɔ ɛnyɛ competition.
then I submit that life is not a competition.
ɛneɛ mehu obi na sɛ nnɛ mehu sɛ wafeeli a anaasɛ mehu obi na ɔyɛ nobody ɛna mensere no.
So when I see somebody and that person has failed today, or that person is nobody today, I will not scoff at the person.
ebia na ne brɛ ne nsoeɛ nyame ɛna ahyehyɛ ne saa.
Perhaps his life is ordained by God and that his time is not yet up.
adeɛ a ɛhu paa ni.
Now, this is one dangerous thing that I want you to take note of and understand.
ɛnɛ me no ɛbɔ
Today,
nkɔmɔ.
I'm having a conversation with you.
hwɛ ɛna wo brɛ ntwam.
Be careful that you do not miss your time.
abrɛ a wohunu.
You do not, be careful your time does not pass you by without you noticing your time.
ante saa na kyerɛ sɛ botan ti a ɔsoro anaa onyame nwene wo no ayɛ waste.
Now, when that happens, then the purpose of God for your life would have become wasted.
na yɛnsan hyɛ wei so nso.
Now, let us also take note of this.
hwɛ nso na wampepere wo ho ankɔdi wo brɛ anim.
Now, be careful you do not rush. Be careful you are not in haste so that you move ahead of your time,
ante saa a wontumi nwie pɛyɔ.
or else you cannot reach perfection or completion, or you will not be fulfilled.
ɛyɛ nneɛma mmienu.
And so there are two things you must take note of.
mɛma wo time ntwam.
Do ensure that your time will not pass you by without you noticing it.
ɛna mɛni wo time so so anim.
And do not be in haste so that you move ahead of your appointed time.
ebetumi a wo ha wa wobɔ ho mpaeɛ no.
If it is possible, that situation or trouble you have been praying about continuously,
wo hyɛbrɛ a wodwene ho.
the destiny of your life that you are thinking about,
w'ani so adi hunu.
your vision
ɛna wo botaeɛ.
and your purpose,
ebetumi a
if it were possible,
anka mempay so much attention ɛwɔ saa nneɛma no ho.
now if it were possible, do not pay so much attention on these things.
ba nea wo sɛ wo pay much attention ɛwɔ ho
But-
ɛyɛ wo time.
But what you must give much attention to is your time.
wobɔ mpaeɛ sɛ awurade ɛnyɛ wo sei, awurade nyɛ wei ma wo, awurade nyɛ wei ma wo, awurade nyɛ wei ma wo.
Now you are praying and asking God to do such and such a thing for you.
yɛwɔ mpaebɔ bi wɔ hɔnom a onyame ɔntie.
Now there are certain prayers that God will not listen to.
but nea wo sɛ wobɔ ho mpaeɛ ni.
But this is what you must pray about.
sugu nyame so bɔ mpaeɛ fa
Call-
yɛfono to hɔnom.
call
ka
on-
kyerɛ awurade sɛ ɔnyɛ w'adom na hunu wo brɛ.
Call on the name of the Lord. Wait on God in prayer and fasting. And tell God that God, make me able to discover my time.
humi mmɔbɔ awurade sɛ bɛyɛ a menni me brɛ anim.
You pray to God and say, God, have mercy on me so that I do not hasten and move ahead of my appointed
anaasɛ
time.
me brɛ ntwam.
Or that my time will not pass me by without me noticing
na
my
mɛtumi
time.
ne brɛ a wahyehyɛ ama me atu anammɔn.
So that I can move within the time you have appointed for me.
saa nsɛm wei saa mpaebɔ wei nyame tie.
Now, this kind of prayer is the kind that God will listen to.
na ɛyɛ very very important.
And it is very important.
obi sɛ wabɔ mpaeɛ saa ɔnhunu hwee.
Somebody said, I've been praying for so many years and have not seen any results.
ɛbrɛ ɛna ɛnya nsoeɛ.
The issue is your time is not yet up.
na mepɛ sɛ meka ma ɔte aseɛ
But I
sɛ
want you to understand,
wobrɛ ɛho ɔdene kyɛn wo nimdeɛ.
I want you to understand that your time has more power, your time is more potent than your knowledge.
deɛ meka no ma menkyerɛ mu no te ase.
Now, let me explain what I just said.
menim obi a ɔnimdeɛ paa.
I know someone that has so much knowledge,
nanso wanya brɛ antwɛn ne brɛ.
but that person did not exercise patience to wait for his appointed time.
wanhunu brɛ a ne brɛ bɛso.
He did not know, or he was not aware of his appointed time.
enti ne nimdeɛ no nyinaa yɛ
And
useless.
so the abundance of knowledge that person had became useless.
ne
Sorry.
berɛ no twam
His time passed him by,
enti ama ne nimdeɛ a ɔwɔ nyina ayɛ kwa.
and because his time passed him by, the knowledge he had acquired became useless.
mepɛ sɛ wotie nsɛm
Now
wei.
listen to this carefully.
mepɛ wei mehia wei nyame yɛ me sei awurade yɛ me wei yɛ me wei meka no koraa kyerɛ wo sɛ sɛ wogyidi o sɛ wonyini o ɛbrɛ ɛsom mo kyɛn mepɛ wei.
Now you see, your time is more precious than your wishes. So you wish God to do this for you, and you wish God to do that for you, but your time is more potent than your wishes.
sɛ obra a onyame ahyehyɛ ama wo ɛso a
Now when the time appointed by God for your life, when that time is up,
no demon can destroy your time.
demon be anywhere obetumia says sabreno.
ɛbrɛ a onyame ahyehyɛ ama wo sɛ duru hɔ a
When the time appointed by God is due,
me se bɛyifoɔ bia ni hɔ
I am saying that no witch,
tumi bia ni hɔ
no power anywhere
a wobɛtumi asi wo kwan
can stop you in your time.
wankasa na wobɛtumi asɛe wɔ wo ho.
Now you are the only person that can destroy your own self.
Wonim the reason why nti a men rush in life.
Now you know the reason I do not rush in life.
Ayɛ na mebɔ mpaeɛ so gu nyame so sɛ Awurade fa me kɔ me berem.
Now I
Ma menhunu me bere.
always pray to God and ask God that God take me or usher me into my appointed time.
Ɛma me bere ntwam
Let me discover my appointed time.
ɛna ɛma me nni me bere so ani.
Let my appointed time not pass me by without me noticing,
Wonim sɛ-
and do not let me go ahead of my time.
Wonim sɛ nkurɔfoɔ bebrebe pagya boom at once.
Do you know some people came to the limelight, they got exposure all at once in a twinkle of an eye,
But ɛnuru da bi yɛante ɔmo nka
but
bi.
not after many days their fame withered away.
But wonim sɛ binom so wɔ system nom saa bɛsi nnɛ.
But some
Sɛ
people
ɔmo
have
fa
been
nhyɛn.
in their system for a long time and they are still on the cutting edge
Because ɔmo nim ɔmo bere ɛwɔ nyame mu.
because they know their appointed time in
Sɛ
God.
wonim wo bere na wo so obi kɔ so kyɛn wo a ɛna dane w'ani kɔhwehwɛ boafoɔ anaa nyame foforɔ.
Now, if you have not discovered your time, or you do not know what time is appointed for you by God, it is in that situation that when you see somebody moving swiftly or somebody going ahead of you, you are in haste, you become jittery, and you seek help from elsewhere, or you seek other gods.
Ɛnokorɛ the reason why ntia nkurɔfoɔ bebree de ɔmo ani kyerɛ nyame foforɔ hɔ ɛkɔ nsuman so na ɔmo nim ɔmo bere.
Now, it is a statement of truth because this accounts for the reason some people sought other gods. They went in pursuit of other gods.
Enti ayɛ ne sɛ ɔka akyiri wɔ abrabɔ mu.
They thought they were delaying in life.
Ebinom apepere ɔmo ho akɔwie afiase.
Some people have rushed and have now been imprisoned
Because ne classmate bi ɛda kaa mu, ne classmate bi mansion bi a wasiasi hɔ ɛso ɔno ɔnam fam ɔrente nkurɔfoɔ fie ɛno nti ɔpepere ne ho wakɔwie afiase.
because he saw a classmate who was driving a very nice car, and he saw a classmate that had built a very nice house, but he didn't have a car, and he was a tenant in somebody's house, and because of that he was in haste to get what his classmate got. And now he's in
ɔpɛntɛmɛ nya ne ho
prison.
nti ɛna ɔyɛ drugs yɛakye no a wɔdam.
Now, because he was in haste to get prosperity, he got involved in narcotics and drugs, and he's been arrested, and now he's in prison.
ɔpɛntɛmɛ aware nti wɔchoose wrong partner
Because he
ama ɔsɔfa in marriage.
or she was in haste to get married, he made a wrong choice of a spouse, and now he is living in hell in marriage.
ɛyɛ brɛ
Now, it's all about time.
wowɔ wo bere.
You have your time.
Me so me wɔ me bere.
I've got my time.
Mɛmfa wo bere ntoto me bere ho.
Do not compare your timing with my timing,
Ɛfiri sɛ hyɛ bere ɛnyɛ pɛ.
because our destinies are not the
Bɔ wo
same.
nsɛm ma Yehowa.
Put your hands together for Jehovah.
Ɛnɛ mepɛ sɛ me ne wo bɔ nkɔmmɔ.
Now, today I want to have a conversation.
Kyerɛwsɛm no a me no mmienu
Now, the scripture
yɛakenkan.
which we have read
Abrantie bi a yɛfrɛ no ɛdɔm.
It's about a young man possessed with legion. A legion.
Sunsum bɔne ɛbɛhyɛ ne ma.
He was possessed with evil spirits.
Nea ɔyɛ yɛ a ma honhom no bɛhyɛ ne ma deɛ. Ebia later memo ate ase.
Maybe later on I will tell you about what happened, how he got possessed with evil spirits.
Na sunsum no epossesse no.
Now, when he got possessed with evil spirits,
Afei no ɔnde ne ho biem.
he was no longer of himself.
Afei no ntumi nyɛ nea ɔno apɛ sɛ ɔyɛ.
He no longer could do what he wanted to do.
Ba nea sunsum no pɛ sɛ ɔyɛ no ɛna na ɔde ne yɛ.
But he would only do the bidding of the spirit. So he would do and respond to what the spirit tells him to do.
Ɛyɛ very sad. Sɛ biribi bɛfa ɔdɔmum ɛde wayɛ nea wɔmpɛ sɛ ɔbɛyɛ.
Now, it's very sad when something subdues you, when something gets dominion over you and forces you to do things you do not want to do.
Nkurɔfoɔ bebrebe mote me voice.
There are so many people who hear the sound of my voice.
Adeɛ bi ɔno ma wɔyɛ a ka wobɛnya na nko anyɛ.
There are
But
some-
wontumi ncontrol ho.
There are
ɔyɛ.
some things that you wish you will not do or you will not be found doing, but you cannot control yourself. You only find yourself doing it.
Ɛyɛ sunsum bi na afa adɔmum.
It is a certain spirit that has taken dominion over you,
Control.
and it is controlling your
Ɔkɔ w'anim a
faculties.
otumi twe wo san.
Sometimes when you are moving forward, this spirit can draw you back,
Nea ɔpɛ na ɔde woyɛ.
and the spirit does with you what it wants to do
Because wafa adɔmum.
because it has dominion over you. It
And
has
then me
subdued
apaya ma
you.
wo.
I pray for you today,
Na mesra ɔba adeɛ sɛ.
and I'm praying to God
Ma ɔmma kwan mɛtumi bi amfa adɔmum.
that may God not allow any spirit to possess
Na
or dominate
onyame
you,
honhom mmom ɛmfa adɔmum.
and rather let the spirit of the Lord dominate you,
Na watumi aduru baabi a wosɛ oduru wɔ
so
abrabɔ.
that you will reach the destination of God appointed for your life.
Bɔ nsɛm ma Yehowa.
Put your hands together for Jehovah.
Ɛdeɛ na afa adɔmum.
What is it that has dominated your life?
Ɛdeɛ na ahyɛ wo so.
What has subdued you?
Ɛduru berɛ bi a
There are certain times
ayɛ a na ɛnyɛ yɛ fault,
it's not our fault,
but ɛyɛ mogya.
but it's something in the bloodline.
Ɛyɛ abusua honhom.
It's something which pertains to our families, spiritual things pertaining to our families.
Yɛ nana bi ɛna ɔne saa sunsum no ɛnya apam.
Our ancestor perhaps had a covenant with that spirit,
Nti honhom no anya upper hand ɛwɔ yɛabusua no mu.
and by virtue of that covenant, that spirit has obtained an upper hand over the family.
We're building a throne ɛwɔ family
That
no mu.
spirit has built a throne in the family.
Nti wohwɛ a yɛwɔ suban bi.
And so you will
abrabɔ bi
notice that there are certain
ɛwɔ hɔnom
traits,
a asɛ abusua no ɛaffect obiara.
character, or habits, or characteristics that are common in certain families.
Yɛwɔ abusua bi wɔ hɔnom a
So there are certain families,
emu mmaa ho ɛfɛ.
you will notice that the women therein are very pretty,
Nanso obiara ne hɔnom a ɔwɔ ɔno ankasa kunu.
but none of them are, or none of them is married to her own husband.
Ɔbɛware mpo a na ɔtɔ awareɛ so.
And even if you will find any married, that person would be the second wife or the third or fourth.
Saa deɛ yi wohwɛ a ebi too ɔnana bi.
You would notice that in that family, you will notice that it happened to your grandparents,
Wɔ auntie bi so ebi too.
and a similar thing happened to your auntie,
O maame nso so ebi too.
and the same thing happened to your mother.
Woso hwɛ a ho so a ɔmo siw pɛ nyinaa yɛ nkurɔfoɔ ekunu nom.
And you also notice that all the men that come into your life are already married.
Sunsun no wɔ abusua no mu dada ɛne awo abetum.
Now the spirit was present in the family before you were born.
Nti ɛno ne assignment a wɔne abusua no wɔ ne dwumadie no.
And so that's kind of the assignment or the contract it has with the family, and that's what it intends to do.
Ɛno nti wopa ahyɛ biribi nso.
And so you must take notice of something.
Wobɛhu sɛ family bi wɔ hɔnom a biribi sononko bi sisi.
You would
Na
notice that
affect so many.
you will notice that in certain families there are peculiar things that happen to people in that family. That thing is common to all members of the family.
Ebia honhom bi a wo nana bi ne ne nya apam.
Perhaps the reason may be attributable to a connection or a covenant your ancestors had with a certain spirit. So they entered into a transaction or a contract with the spirit, and the spirit was supposed to do a thing for the family, and the spirit will also take in return something from the family. And so the spirit will say, I am going to do such and such for the family, which will help the family, but in return I am going to destroy such and such in the family. There are other families you will notice that they get good husbands and good wives, but the women in the family are not fruitful. It is spiritual. And that spirit may have a covenant with the family. Now we are hard working, but we do not see improvement in our lives. You may have prayed about it and fasted about it, and yet you still notice that you are affected. Now let us observe the gentleman. Now anytime the demons stirred themselves up, there was nothing that could tame the young man, because the demons had subdued him. And anytime you put chains and shackles on him, he could tear apart the chain. No one could control him. Now there are certain demons that you cannot easily bind them. You cannot easily tame them. They are very powerful and wicked. They are wicked and powerful demons. At times, and sometimes these demons fight against us. You may be holy, you may be prayerful, you are given to fasting, but there are times that you notice that there is something fighting your life, and you are unable to help yourself. You try to cast that situation out, and you are unable to do so. You try to put fetters on the situation, and the situation breaks the fetters. And everything you have done still problem has not succeeded. The problem, the situation, and the spirit is at work. Is it the case that Satan is more powerful than God? No, it isn't the case. But your ancestors, your fathers, they submitted themselves and the family to a demon, and so that demon has an upper hand. Well educated. I know someone who is well educated, still but in spite of the knowledge that person has acquired, there is something fighting against his or her life, and they have not found a remedy yet. The amount of knowledge he has acquired was not enough to break the power of the demon. In spite of all the knowledge he has acquired, his life amounted to nothing. Perhaps he was always first in class, but his life has become miserable. I know certain people, they are very hard working. And you come to a conclusion that had it not been for a resistance present in their lives, they would have reached very far in life. So why is it that in spite of all the hard work you do, you are still standing at the same place in the same level? Have you given this a thought? You wake up at dawn and you go to the market. You have done this so many years, but you are still a tenant in someone's house. Have you thought about this? You work very hard, but it doesn't matter how much you are able to gather. Something happens and it scatters. What you gather scatters. And all your struggles, in spite of all the struggles you've been through in life, there is nothing you can point a finger to or at and say, this is mine. You treat men very nicely. You respect men so well. You humble yourself and submit to men. And in spite of all the things you do for the men who have been in your life, they are not pleased with it. They will still get other women. And the more you submit and the more you humble yourself, the more he hates you and persecutes you. You have done everything a man can do for a woman, but you still cannot tame the woman. The woman does anything she wants to do, and not just one. It has happened so many times. You must know that there is something. There is something in the family which is fighting against that aspect of life in the family, and that thing is adverse against you. Now there are some people that where they ought to be is not where they are, and that is not how God ordained things to be. But the reason is attributable to an evil spirit. It is an evil spirit that is dragging you back. Now when the spirits become active in the young man, nobody can tame him. So there is something in your life that there is nothing you can do to stop it. It is as if it has affected you. You notice that situation is not normal, and you have prayed about it, you have fasted about it, and yet the Bible said this young man could scream with a loud voice. And there are times that he could cut himself with flints and sharp stones.
Wicked demon.
Now the demon was wicked. The demon caused him to torment his own body.
Witchcraft spirit.
You see, there is some witchcraft spirit that if you are not lucky and you get possessed, that spirit fights against you. The spirit will cause you to wound yourself. There are some people whose life has become very bad, and sometimes it is some witchcraft within them that is destroying their own self. And there are others that you have a certain trait or character or habit that is destroying you. You are a victim of your own character. Now it got to a time in the life of this young man that he could not inhabit amongst men, so he went into the tombs and into the wilderness. Now if you're not careful, demons can torment your life, and you would move from the purpose of God to another purpose which is not consistent with the purpose of God for your life. Now these messages are rare in the church or
And
in the
yes,
house
sir,
of
yeah,
God.
lifted demons.
It is not as if we are elevating the power of demons.
But make a fact at the actual.
But I am telling you certain facts.
Missing a home be wa.
I am saying that there are certain spirits. That there are certain spirits that if you are not careful, they will push you out from the purpose of God, and they will push you to a place that God has not ordained to you for you, and that place will be a place of shame.
Demons say, "Oh my catcher branch."
So the demons thought that they had already captivated that young man. I do not care the work of certain demons in your life. I believe that there are some demons that think that they already have an upper hand in your life, and they have already destroyed your life. There are some people that think that you are a failure
because you show age. Because
you notice when you look at your age and the things you are going through, your conclusion is that you are a total disappointment.
Anytime
now, every time when deliverance is coming toward us, deliverance that will be helpful to us, there are certain spirits that are strong, and sometimes they contend against the deliverance. Prophet Jeremiah prophesied. He said that the people of Israel will go into slavery. He was specific, and he mentioned the duration.
70 years.
He said for 70 years.
Specific.
He spoke with specific time.
Spiritual things.
Now, somebody who understood spiritual things.
Now, captivity. Highly anointed.
Now, when the people went into captivity, people who were highly anointed were also captivated.
Because Daniel was a highly
anointed man. But he was captured.
Shadrach, Meshach,
and Abednego.
In fact, so read the scriptures. Ezekiel.
When you read the scriptures, you even notice that Ezekiel was one.
Powerful man.
These were powerful men of God. But they were still captured.
Every time you then will be highly anointed or to me affected.
So sometimes you ask yourself, how can a highly anointed man of God be affected in an area of life?
Demons be punchy great man of God.
And how is it that certain demons can punch a great man of God?
And Paul complaining.
And so Paul complained. He said, God, why have you allowed Satan to buffet me, to give me a blow?
Daniel was a spiritual man.
Now Daniel was a spiritual man. He had understanding about spiritual things. And so he noticed that the time, the duration of the captivity was about to end. And they could come out of servitude and slavery. It meant that Daniel was conscious of the time. Now let me tell you something. That there are some things which are present in families. Until the time of that thing reaches or comes to an end, there is nothing you will do that thing would go.
The reason why still
now you know the reason evil spirits still operate.
Confusion.
Now when there was confusion and war in heaven, God gave a time for the destruction of evil spirits. And so because their time is not yet up, their time for destruction is not yet up, it does not matter what you do to them, you can't destroy them. So Daniel perceived and he discovered the time. And so when it was almost time, he went before God.
And
immediately he went before God. God heard his prayer.
Because the time is up.
If it's not a breno aso,
when the time is up,
say a breno eswa,
Bempah.
God intervenes. Put your hands together for Jehovah.
And so
God sent angel Gabriel to bring insight to Daniel.
And the prince of Persia said, no, the time is not yet.
So the prince of Persia said, no, and so they battled against Gabriel.
It's true, not time.
And it was true, the time was not yet up.
And battled for 21 days.
And so they battled for 21 days.
Why? And the great dragon angel Gabriel.
Now, who was the great dragon that they had the effrontery to stand before Gabriel in battle?
Because not time at the deliverance.
Because the deliverance God had appointed for the people of Israel was time bound. It was time sensitive.
And the great dragon, Gabriel said, the time is not yet.
And so the great dragon wanted to say to Gabriel that the time is not yet up. And so we will not allow you to send deliverance to the people.
Time.
Ebre.
Time.
Ebre.
Time.
Ebre.
Time.
Ebre.
So read the scriptures.
Now when you read the scriptures,
Bible say, Ebra edom oni Yeshua eshia no kansembi.
Now when Legion had an encounter with Yeshua, he said something. Legion said, you are the Son of God. What it means is that even demons, when they see the Son of God, they know that he is the Son of God. The demons got to know. The demons got to know that Jesus was the Son of God, but the Pharisees and the scribes could not know. You know, sometimes witches in your family are able to know, and they can tell your greatness. And so if you are not careful, they will discover your greatness from a very young age, and they can destroy your greatness.
In fact,
yes, they know, they are able to know.
Sometimes na Herod so the magicians. A sense say something is about to happen.
Now, when the star appeared for or appeared to the wise men, in that same time, Herod and his magicians were also perceiving something had happened.
Me say demons but specific.
Now you see, so demons are able to know, but they lack specificity. They are unable to be specific and direct.
And unti men say and
so do not think that some witch or witches in your family do not know of your great future. They know,
but exact time. Some blessing no but
they don't know.
But they know say you are blessed.
But they do not know the exact time that blessing is going to manifest in your life. But they know that you are blessed. They know that you came out from the womb with something precious.
But
sometimes they don't know what that thing is. With precision, they have no precision, and they don't know what exactly. Let me give you some examples. Thank God my mother is here with us. Now, some time ago, before my mother got to know the Lord, when she wanted to have another child in addition to me, somebody directed her to go to Chiraman Shrine.
Na Chiraman hono okwa a group line ahemfufo line ni businessmen ene omo power re in fact lie bebre.
Now, so when you go there, you will see a lot of queues. There is one queue for businessmen, one queue for those who want to get married, one queue for chiefs, one queue for all manner of situations have different queues. So I just want to demonstrate to you that demons are able to tell.
Demonic powers. You're unique. You have something special.
So
we're different.
Those who have demonic powers, they are able to tell that you are unique, you are special, and you are different. So all we saw,
the so them nipanum and an initial dream and on them nipanum and an encrow for Trishiragunuso and an any posse prepan or Shasro and on in them nipan.
Now we saw that while the spiritualist there, the fetish priest there, he was under great influence of his spirit, and so he jumped the wall and came out, and he was running in the midst of the people, looking up into the skies, and there were people following him with powder and with bentonite clay, and they were throwing it on him. At that time, I was young. And my mother had bought some donuts for me, and I was eating that donut. Now when the fetish priest got to where my mother was standing in her queue, and I was standing beside my mother, he stopped. And he cried out with a loud voice. And then he snatched, or he took me with force and brought me before him, and he shouted, "Whose son is this?" I was young then, but I remember very clearly. So my mother knelt down and said, "Nana, he is my son." So the fetish priest will look at me and look up, look at me and look into the skies, look at me and look into the skies. And what he said, it was that your son, this son, is from the heights of the heavens. Your son is from the heights of the heavens. And so he said, buy a stool and a white cloth and bring it to me, and I'll do something for your son. Now another time,
a bed is great. Oh yes, a jagraja papa, a bed no.
Now another time, my mother went to this white garment church, spiritual church. The man of God was called Abednego. Abed is great.
Because the Echinama conform and
now I'm sure my mother was afraid at the manifestation that happened at the shrine, and so she did not go there again.
Abednego Susu can the same thing.
Now Abednego also said the same thing. Now my mother moved to another church, to another prophet called Kodrewa.
Satam no uko susu sorry and when you be. Satam no if you do no and couple sonsoa no any me a preman for at the phone and yansafon a couple sonso. Those days no.
Now in those days it was a swag.
Because I was so to go
to a shrine
and shakawa tuntum. Hey, a before be quite watching. It won't be no shakawa tuntum and I just want born home mine or no more.
You must visit a shrine and get protection. You'll be given some black ring and you wear it, and it's a sign of protection. So people went to shrines with swag.
Afei, kwadwa wants to catch me mama say, "Obana wa wona na wo nachino. We ni pakase, ofirisuru musoro. Kokoto asesenya ene nyina fita bra. Said ye kira ma kan ye no. Said ya bed na go kan the same thing and kwadwa wu ano so aka."
So when
me person man hunu say, "Ahom bone no, omuhunu dachi." But specifically, omuntumi hunu bibi kropote pa, ene bra pote pa onyame ahyehya ma bonsema Yehovah.
Now Prophet Kodrewa also said the same thing to my mother. So the point I'm trying to make is that when evil spirits see you, they are able to know that there is something great about you, about your life, but they cannot tell your greatness with specificity. And so they said to Gabriel that the time is not up.
Enti yempene ma onko emfa hunumu nkoma Daniel ema omunye delivered.
And so we will not allow you to go and give Daniel insight so that they will get delivered because the time is not up. Now let me draw your attention to something. I am having a conversation with you.
Higher realms.
Now there are some spirits or demons that operate from high realms.
Any demons be who so ye great, but tired.
There are some demons that and witches that are able to know that you are a great person, but they do not know the time of your greatness.
But akukudam Lucifer ne Leviathan and Beelzebub mono time.
But as for those demons in high realm, like Leviathan and Lucifer and the rest, they are able to tell with time. Which time?
Because the time is not up.
They said we will not allow this. If it's a brand new ensign, sometimes deliverance comes your way. But if you're not careful, a witch can destroy that deliverance. Some blessing may come upon you.
Witchcraft spirit and that demon.
But if you're not careful, somebody possessed with witchcraft or demonic power can destroy that blessing. If you're not careful, you can give birth to a blessing. And if you're not careful, a witch can kill that blessing. That is why it is good, necessary and crucial that you get a wing which is great and big, which can cover you. And so I'm praying for God to give you great protection,
because there
are certain compounds, when you go to live in that compound, everything you do gets bad. There are certain parcels of land, when you move onto that parcel of land, everything you are doing goes bad. There are certain people who, when they have come into your life, everything you are doing gets bad. Let us be sensitive.
In your domain.
Let's be sensitive, because it is not any person you must associate with as a friend. It is not any man you must allow to come into your domain.
Because there
are some people who have witchcraft spirits. Some people are possessed with demons. If you are not careful, they will destroy you. You cannot tell me you are prayerful. Because if you are not careful, they will destroy your prayer life.
Angel Gabriel, second in command, Prince of Persia, stop on.
So Angel Gabriel, second in command, the princess of Persia stopped him.
Gabriel stop on now.
So they were able to stop Gabriel. How much more you? Put your hands together for Jehovah.
I also release one who is like God.
So God immediately had to release one who is like God.
A friend of Michael,
who is called Michael.
Michael by no better battle.
So Michael came and he took over the battle.
And Gabriel they answer Daniel.
And Gabriel brought an answer to Daniel. Now let us listen to what Gabriel said again.
Michael, the angelic general.
Michael, the angelic general.
Gabriel Daniel said.
Gabriel said to Daniel that I set off long ago.
But Prince of Persia and I stopped on for 21 days.
But the princess of Persia stopped him for 21 days.
And when you the senior man Michael,
and God sent a senior man, a senior angel called Michael.
And he is going to help.
And so he said the battle was not over at the time I was leaving, and so I am going back to help.
Michael but battle
Michael even came on the scene But he took over the battle, but the battle was not over. So Gabriel had to return to offer assistance. It was only in that time that breakthrough came. It was in that time that they were able to overcome the great dragon. Listen to me.
Any man of God break your ancestral curses.
Now it is not any man of God that can break your ancestral curse. Some are mighty.
Now
let's listen to what Legion said.
Jesus drew on no face.
When Jesus got to the land, he faced him.
Jesus.
And he walked, he ran toward Jesus.
Not
that he was going to bow.
Christ.
He was going to attack Christ.
Presence and power.
But when he went there, or when he went close, and he felt the presence, he had to bow.
No, who said power now? Or face no. Realm no is more than angelic realm. Now
when he got close and he saw that, hey, this person I was about to attack, the realm is operating from, it's not an angelic realm, and if you are not the son of God, you cannot be operating from this realm. And so he said, son of God.
Why specific?
He was specific. Did you come here to torment us? Did you come here to torment us before our time?
Important.
This is very important. He said, our time is not yet up. Our time isn't up. And so we will not go out from here. But the intensity of your power and the fact
still you say you occupy land way.
He said that it is because of the power that you have, how great your power is. That is why we are submitting ourselves. But this entire territory is ours. This place is ours. So do not cast us out from here. The entire sea is ours. If you want to cast us out, cast us into the swine. So certain spirits may come out from you, but they may not be out from your life. But when evil spirits go out from a man, they go to wander about and they come back. So a demon may go out from you, but the demon is not out of your life. So let's take note of this. I am ending today's part of the message here. And if God permits, we will continue next week. But I want you to understand that it's all about time. Have it in your mind. It is about time. Evil spirits can display.
Function in your life.
They can function in your life.
But
their time will be up.
When
the time is up,
will be delivered.
When the time is up,
you will overcome them.
It's about time.
When the time is up.
Put your hands together for Jehovah. Now please stand up onto your feet. If God permits, we will continue with this message next week. Wave your hands. Say, Lord, let me know my time. Let not my time pass me. Let me not go ahead of my time. In Jesus' name, amen. Put your hands together for Jehovah.